All right, Drew Brees joins us after Game 2 of the season. I know you guys wanted to build off that opener. How frustrating is it not to do it here against New England?
It's frustrating because you got to find a way to win. I mean these games, every game is so important. And yeah, I think just the fact that I know that we're much better than the way things have gone. I know offensively there's been missed opportunities in these first two games that would have resulted in touchdowns as opposed to field goals, or would have sustained drives that might have resulted in more points. And at the end of the day, our job is to score more than they score. And unfortunately, we have not done that offensively the last 2 weeks. I feel like we can be a lot more efficient. We've put together some good drives, but we just haven't finished them the way that we need to.
You cut the lead in half with the touchdown pass to Brandon Coleman. Somebody's had to step up with Willie Snead out, and it seems like Brandon Coleman's done that for you.
Brandon Coleman's done a phenomenal job. I have a ton of trust and confidence in him. And, we've had a lot of time together over the last few years, and I think he's one of those guys that really knows our offense well and can play all different receiver positions whenever he's called upon. And, I can't say enough good things about him.
Offensive line's had its share of injuries. You've never made that an excuse, but the running game for the second straight week has had trouble kind of getting out of the gates. How has that affected things offensively?
Yeah, here's the thing. We need to be better there. We need to be better. I think there's just there's a flow and a rhythm that's created once when you're running the ball effectively, and then it's setting up the play action, and your drop back is efficient, and we just have not been hitting on all cylinders.
You mentioned Coleman, but not having Willie Snead, not having a Zach Strief, I mean, you're not going to make that an excuse. But in terms of timing, in terms of cohesiveness for this offense, not having some big guys out there, how has that affected things too?
I mean, listen, I'm not going to make any excuses. I mean, I think it's common sense to say that when you have some new guys at positions, that there's a little bit of a learning curve, and you're going to continue to get better the more time on task that you're able to put towards it. But we don't have time for that right now. We've got to find a way to put it all together and to be efficient and to find ways to win.
You guys made it a goal, obviously, to start strong this season, 0-2. Once again, is there anything different about this 0-2 compared to past years? Do you see a difference at all?
Listen, I love our team. I love our team. Our team is tight, and so is it disappointing that we're 0-2? Yeah, absolutely. Not only because it's a tough way to start the season, but because I just know how hard we've worked. I know how much guys have invested. I know the way guys feel about one another and the way they want to perform for one another, and so that part is tough and disappointing. And yet, the only thing we can do, the thing that we control, is what is right in front of us. And it'd be a great first win would be on the road here at Carolina.
Last question. I know you like this locker room. I know you like this team. I talked to a lot of your teammates before we talked, and they said nobody's hanging their heads. We still feel positive. Do you feel the vibe in the locker room still pretty good?
Yeah, I do. We've got young guys. We got a good mix of young guys and veteran guys, and I think what we have is young guys that are willing to listen, learn, watch the veteran guys, emulate them, and I think we've got enough veteran guys that have been around enough to know that, hey, this is just some early adversity. You're weathering the storm, but man, we gotta get to it. We gotta win. But man, there's also an approach each and every week, regardless of what happened that previous Sunday. There's just a mindset. There's an approach. There's a work ethic. There's a process that needs to take place, all the time, and in a very consistent manner.
Sorry I missed you last week, but I'm glad you're back with us for an 11th straight season, and we'll see you in Carolina.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Drew Brees here against the New England Patriots. Been a tough run for the Saints in September, especially the last 4 years. Their last win in September, you have to go back to September 21st of 2014 against the Minnesota Vikings. That's the story here in the Superdome. Back to you guys in the studio.